A Boeing 777 with 239 people disappears without a trace. No distress call, no wreckage, no answers. For over a decade, the world has asked what happened to Malaysia Airlines Flight 370, and the answer might be more disturbing than anyone imagined. March 8, 2014, Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 departs Kuala Lumpur at 12:42 a.m. heading to Beijing. 227 passengers, 12 crew members, and Captain Zahari Ahmad Shah, a veteran pilot with 18,000 hours. It's a routine red-eye flight. At 1:01 a.m., the captain's voice comes over the radio. "Good night, Malaysian 370. It's the last anyone will ever hear from the aircraft. 2 minutes later, MH370's transponder stops transmitting. The plane vanishes from radar. But here's what makes this chilling. The transponder didn't malfunction. Someone turned it off manually. Malaysian Air Traffic Control expects the plane to check in with Vietnam. The call never comes. At 2:15 a.m., officials realize Flight 370 has disappeared. But military radar tells a different story. An unidentified aircraft turned west, flew back across Malaysia, then headed northwest over the Andaman Sea. This wasn't a plane in distress. This was a plane being deliberately flown off course. Satellite data reveals something even more disturbing. After the transponder was disabled, automated signals continued pinging a satellite every hour. The last ping came at 8:19 a.m., more than 7 hours after takeoff. Analysis shows the plane flew south into the remote southern Indian Ocean. Then, silence. The search becomes the most expensive in aviation history. Ships, planes, and submarines scour thousands of square miles of ocean. Nothing. In July 2015, debris washes up on Reunion Island. It's a flaperon from MH370. More pieces surface over the years, confirming the plane broke apart on impact, but the main wreckage, the black boxes, the answers remain hidden beneath miles of ocean. The official investigation concludes the plane crashed after running out of fuel, but this raises more questions than answers. The flight path, the timing, the disabled communication systems, none of it was random. Someone flew this plane deliberately into one of the most remote corners of the planet. But who and why? Let's examine the theories. Zahari Ahmad Shah had a flight simulator at home. Investigators discovered he'd practiced a route eerily similar to MH370's final path, flying south into the Indian Ocean until fuel exhaustion. His family insisted it was innocent, just a hobby, but the coincidence is impossible to ignore. Could it be hijacking? 2 passengers boarded using stolen passports. Interpol investigated and concluded they were asylum seekers, not terrorists. No group claimed responsibility. No ransom demands were made. Mechanical failure. The Boeing 777 is one of the safest aircraft ever built, and mechanical failure doesn't explain why the transponder was manually disabled or why the plane flew for 7 hours after communication stopped. Here's the theory that makes the most sense, and it's the darkest one. The evidence points to deliberate human action. Someone in the cockpit depressurized the cabin, rendering everyone unconscious. They disabled communication systems. They flew the plane on a carefully planned route into the remotest part of the ocean. Then, they waited as the fuel burned and the aircraft flew further from any rescue. Waited until it ran dry and fell from the sky. This wasn't an accident. This was mass murder-suicide, and only the pilots were capable of executing this plan. In 2024, new satellite analysis suggests a possible debris field has been identified. Ocean Infinity is planning another search mission. After a decade, we might finally get answers. But even if we find the wreckage, one question will haunt us forever. Why? 239 people boarded expecting to land in Beijing. They never made it. Families waited at the airport watching the arrivals board, but the gate stayed empty. Days turned to weeks. Hope faded to grief. Here's what we know. MH370 took off normally. Someone disabled the systems. The plane flew for over 7 hours before crashing. Debris confirms it broke apart, but the main wreckage has never been found. And here's what we suspect but can't prove. The disappearance was deliberate. Someone planned this meticulously. They chose a route that made the plane almost impossible to find. For over 10 years, MH370 has remained aviation's greatest mystery. The families deserve answers. The world needs answers, because until we understand how a commercial airliner can simply disappear, it could happen again. Somewhere in the Indian Ocean lies the truth. 239 people are still waiting to be found. Flight 370 departed at 12:42 a.m. By 8:19 a.m., it was gone. 7 hours that changed aviation forever. 7 hours that 239 families will never get back. The plane is out there, resting on the ocean floor, and someday we'll finally know the truth. Until then, MH370 remains the plane that vanished into thin air.